Howdy, folks! Welcome to the first official podcast of Outlaw Productions. Like I said in the channel intro, this is going to be about college life, and as any current or graduate of college knows, college forces you to change so much about your life. High schools around the world seem to do a very poor job of explaining the different challenges new or upcoming freshmen may face. One of the biggest changes each person will have to face in college is creating a routine. Personally, in high school, I didn't really have a routine. I didn't see much of it as a challenge to create one. Boy, was I mistaken. In my first semester of college, I tried to tackle it as I would during high school, which is basically just doing my work when it's due and be done. As you will learn, that is not how college works. I found myself stressing over simple tasks and becoming very overwhelmed by more complicated tasks. Something had to change. Enter the planner. You know, that useless thing you had in your backpack all throughout middle school, that, especially in my school, if you got in trouble, someone would sign it, then after so many signings, you had to go to the office. That thing that just was a paperweight in your backpack in high school that you never used and you just looked at and wondered why you had to pay for one. Yeah, that planner. It's actually useful in college. It's crazy, I know. So I decided I was sick of trying to fit in homework whenever I wanted, and that it was time to create a set, specific schedule for me. So I went out and bought a planner, which you can buy one at like any general store, dollar store, five and dime store, Walmart, pretty much any place sells a planner. You can get one for, they're colorful, whatever you want to get, you get one, all right? These really work. So the first thing I did when I got my planner is I wanted to start it out by filling out my specific work days. I work about 40 hours a week during school time, and it's very important that I write down, what days at work, what I'm doing, how long I'm going to be gone. It's obviously your work schedule is a little bit more of a set schedule. You can't necessarily take off all the time and say, well, I can't be here tonight, can't be here tonight, can't be here tonight. It's not how real life works. We all know that. So writing down your set work schedule is going to help you stay on focus and make sure you know, hey, okay, between 5 and 7, I can't do anything because I'm at work. I have no time to do homework, so I have to do it either before or afterward. So after finishing up my work schedule, I wanted to put down all my homework due dates. This is really important. So knowing the due dates of your homework gives you an idea of what assignments you need to prioritize. Now, most of you freshmen will take some sort of English class within your first semester, and as we all know, English homework cannot be done properly in one night. So with longer assignments, it's really good to plot out the days that you'll be working on assignments. We all know we've all had that big long assignment that we thought we could do in one night or a couple days, and it turned out that that was terrible. Well, that was me my freshman year. We had a big research project due. It was my second essay of the year, and I completely failed it because I tried to do it in a week, and I flunked. It was terrible, horrible decision I made, but then I started using the planner, and I was able to get a better grade on my next one and almost ace the class afterward, which was really great. It seems like a really long process getting all these things down, writing out your work schedule, writing out all these homework due dates, writing down, I'm going to work on this day and this and this and this, and scheduling out each assignment. Today I'm going to work on the introduction of this paragraph. Tomorrow I'm going to work on body paragraph 1, 2, and 3. And on the 5th day I'm going to work on the conclusion. It seems really confusing and frustrating, and it kind of can be, but it's really worth it in the end, I promise. Dartmouth College, located in New Hampshire, puts it this way. A workable time schedule can make decisions for you, thus desensitizing you to monetary distractions. And an hour of study in one course is not disturbed by wandering when you will study for another course, or when you'll be able to get out and have some fun. An adequate schedule includes those for you. Basically what they're saying is, hey, if you have this schedule, you're not going to have to worry about, am I going to have time to have fun tonight? Do I have time to go out with my friends? Do I have time to get this assignment done? Do I have time to read this book or finish this lecture? That's the point of the planner. It's to say, okay, this is what I have to get done. All this extra time in between, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can go fishing with my buddies. I can go mudding in the truck. I can go do whatever I want to do, and it's not a big deal because I know if I stick to my schedule, I can get my stuff done. Now, the next big thing that every college kid's going to have to face is distractions, and especially in today's day and age when we are filled to the brim with technology and alerts. Our phones are constantly pinging off. We have video games. You have friends. You have all these different things in your life that you want to go do that are going to take you away from doing what's important, and that's your schoolwork. You hear that ping or you feel that vibration, your immediate response is to check your phone. Of course, phones aren't the only distraction. You got friends, events, hobbies, social outings, and the list goes on. Every student has faced some distractions, and we all know how tempting it is to ignore your schoolwork and do something else. But learning to remove these distractions seems like an impossible task that nobody can complete. It's difficult, just like making a planner, but it's not impossible. My biggest distraction personally is my cell phone. I love to talk to people and see what they're up to and watch YouTube videos. I can get past the urge to watch videos to scroll through Instagram, but whenever you get a response text or a Snapchat or an IG DM, whatever you want to call it, the urge to check it is incredible. I just want to immediately reach over to my phone, check out, see what it is, see what's happening, see who's texting me, see what new thing I can find out. It's ridiculous. But what have I done to reduce my distractions? I've actually texted all the people that I was having conversations with and say, hey, I'm gonna go work on schoolwork for a little bit. I'll text you as soon as I can, and then move on. Most people are gonna respect that. They're gonna say, well, this kid's working on homework. I'm not gonna bother him. I'm gonna leave him alone. Yeah, most people respect that. Sometimes you have issues. I have issues with that. I still want to go look at my phone. I can't just leave it next to me. So my next little thing I've used to help remove distractions, especially from my phone, is by putting my phone on Do Not Disturb and putting it in a different room or putting it in the drawer on my desk. And I don't have to I have to pull open the drawer to get in there and get it. I have to do all this extra work instead of just sitting here and doing what I'm already doing. I don't have to go get up and go get my phone. I can just forget about it and do what I need to do. It did help for the most part, but there's plenty of other things you can do. They make phone jails where you can put your phone in this little box and you have to put in a code. After so many minutes, hours, whatever the case is, you can set it and it'll unlock after so long. You could turn your phone off. You could just not have a phone in general. I don't know why you wouldn't have a phone in general, but you might not have a phone in general. Who knows? But the biggest thing you have to understand is that removing distractions is going to keep you focused and keep you working ahead and on schedule, just like we talked about in the first couple minutes of this. So Oxford Learning is an online tutoring service. They have created a list of 10 tips on how to study without distraction. Here's their 10. So number 1, keep distractions at a minimum. Number 2, deal with hunger first. Number 3, put phone on Do Not Disturb. Number 4, find a spot that works. Number 5, take frequent breaks. Number 6, work in a space that works for everyone. Number 7, create a routine and stay organized. Number 8, make learning fun. Number 9, use a calendar and plan ahead. And number 10, split the work into sections. That's a lot of different things that you just heard, and you're probably thinking, like, what are you talking about, kid? You're crazy. So number 1, keep distractions at a minimum. That's pretty simple, right? Remove yourself from anything that's going to distract you. Like we said, text your friend, say, hey, I'm going to work on schoolwork. I can't talk right now. I'll talk to you later. Put your phone somewhere else. Get it away from you. Turn off your Xbox. Turn your TV off. Make sure, go to the library where you're not going to be at home and there's not going to be anybody here to talk to you and distract you and pull you out of whatever it is you're doing. Number 2, deal with hunger first. I actually never thought about this one, but they bring up a good point is when you're hungry, you're thinking about food. You're thinking about something else. That something else is in the back of your mind saying, hey, pay attention to me, you-hoo. And that's just going to pull you out of whatever you're doing. So go get something to eat, get yourself comfortable, get some drinks so you can be at your desk, be at whatever your location is. Be there and be able to focus on what you're doing. Number 3 is put your phone on Do Not Disturb. That's pretty simple. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. That way, it's still available if something serious happens, if somebody gets into a car wreck or something crazy is going on. You can still be aware of it, but at the same time, it's not going to be a distraction. You're not going to hear it pinging. You're not going to hear it vibrating every 5 seconds, every time you get a notification. Makes it a little bit easier to stay focused. Number 4, find a spot that works. What this is basically saying is find a spot in your house, at your local library, at the McDonald's, at Taco Bell, wherever you want to go. Go find a place that you know that you can work at, that you're going to be successful in, and that you're not going to be stressed out or worrying over. You're not going to be bothering anybody else, and nobody else is going to be bothering you. Number 5, take frequent breaks. This is a really big one. I do this a lot. Brain breaks. We've all heard it said in school. We need a brain break. We need a mental health day. It's a true thing. When you're doing so much schoolwork, you're going to get bogged down. You're going to get in that mood. You're going to have laser focus and blinders on. You're going to forget about everything else. Well, sometimes that can be a really bad thing, especially in English class, specifically, because you can be writing something and go off the train tracks. And it's best to take a break, take a step back, go get something to snack on, go grab a glass of water, take a drink, and then come back and refocus. This does not mean go grab your cell phone, go start scrolling through Instagram or TikTok or watching YouTube videos, because what is that going to do? That's going to distract you, and now your attention's on your cell phone, and now you're completely forgetting about whatever it is what you're doing, and you're going to have to pull yourself away from your cell phone or your video game or whatever it is you're doing and going back to work, which is not something that most people are going to want to do. They're not going to say, hey, I want to stop watching these funny videos and go write an essay about politics. Most people aren't going to say that. That's not something that a lot of people are into. Believe me. Number 6, work in a space that works for everyone. This kind of goes back to number 4, find a spot that works. Obviously, don't work in the middle of the living room when people are around. When your parents are home, they're doing dishes and trying to vacuum and stuff. That's not going to work for everybody, right? You're going to get distracted. You're going to get annoyed. They're going to get annoyed because you're annoyed. That doesn't work. Try to find a place, if you can, that's quiet, that's good for you and works for everybody else. You don't want to inconvenience somebody else just so you can have the benefit, and nobody else wants to inconvenience you so you can fail your class. That's not what's going to happen. But life happens sometimes. People have different work schedules. People are home at different times. Your school schedule does not match up with your mom and dad or your brother, your girlfriend, your spouse, whatever the case is. It does not match up with their schedule all the time. So it's best to find a place that you're not going to be distracting anyone else and they're not going to be distracting you. Number 7, create a routine and stay organized. We talked about this in the first little bit of the video. You want to stay organized. You want to create a specific schedule that you know what you're doing. You have everything labeled out, and you're not going to be freaking out over, oh, I didn't know this was due tonight. Oh my gosh, I had no idea I had to work on this. Oh no. You're going to be prepared for that situation. You're going to be like, hey, I already got this done. I'm already 3 steps ahead of my schedule. And if you have extra time, you can do that. Instead of saying, well, maybe I shouldn't go fishing tonight. I do have a lot of schoolwork coming up these next couple weeks. So maybe I can take this extra hour or two that I have tonight and I can work on this assignment that's going to take me longer. And then I have even more time after this assignment is done to go hang out with my buddies, to go do whatever you want to do. You can get it done. Bam, quick, easy, lickety split. Number eight, make learning fun. Make it fun. Have a good time while you're doing this. That's why I love this project that I've been assigned. I love talking to people. I've always wanted to do YouTube videos and stuff like that. I just have never had the money to get all the equipment together, but this is a very exciting topic for me. I love to act. That's my passion, is to be an actor one day. And it's incredible that I get to be able to do this and do it for a grade and feel good about it by the end of it. So make learning fun. Figure out a way to make whatever you're doing fun. If it's math, every time you get a question right, you get a candy bar. It seems really stupid and completely obsolete, but it's going to give you that little boost of encouragement. It's something to look forward to by the end of it. Hey, if I get 50 out of 60 right on this quiz, then I'm going to go buy myself ice cream. Okay, that means you're going to study hard and work hard because you want that ice cream. I know I want that ice cream. And number 9 is use a calendar and plan ahead. Kind of goes back to number 8, creating a routine and staying organized. But again, using a calendar, using a planner, something that's going to keep you on task and that you're able to see everything you need to do labeled out right there in front of you is going to make your life so much easier in the long run, believe me. And then number 10, split the work into sections. This is a big one, especially talking about like English projects, and even like my history class that I'm currently in. I have to write a big long essay, and it makes sense to break it up into different paragraphs, different sections. I can say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to work specifically on the introduction. The next day I'm going to work on body paragraph 1. This means that you can work on something and focus on specifically that and make sure it looks good, and then move on and put everything together. That way, when you go into revising and editing or whatever it is you're doing at the end, you can look at it as an overall scheme and say, hey, these all make sense. These look good because I took the time to focus on each specific one. And splitting the work is going to make things seem a lot more easy in a sense. It's going to make things seem a lot more manageable. You're going to be able to get things done way faster and way more efficient than you would if you're just going to say, all right, I'm going to write this whole essay in one night, 1 hour, beginning to end. Here we go. Splitting it up into sections is going to allow you to focus on specific things and make sure it all flows and looks good properly. So all these things are achievable and can be really helpful and make you more time for schoolwork and if you get it done properly within your time frame. The final thing I want to talk about is finding your groove, which that seems really dumb, and you're probably thinking, what is this kid talking about? We all have different ways of tackling assignments. Some of you may work backwards to complete your assignments. Some of you may work in sections. It doesn't matter which way you do. What does matter is finding the perfect one for you. Every college student has to find their groove. You can't see, but I'm doing finger quotes right now. What I mean by that is finding a way to work that will make you the most productive, the least distracted, and the most accomplished. Seems simple enough, right? For me, that consists of putting my phone far away and turning on some kind of country music or like classical jazz. I really like country music or classical jazz to work to. It helps me stay focused and it helps me make things fun. I can get to sing along to some of my favorite songs and then groove and sit here and dance while I'm also focusing on my assignment. And even when I take a break, I can be like, oh, I love this song. I would take a 5-minute break, grab some water real quick, enjoy this song. All right, back to work. Here we go. It reminds me, hey, I can still have fun while I'm doing this long, meaningless task sometimes. Sometimes college assignments may seem meaningless. They all have meaning. You're going to use it for some reason. That's why you're in college. You're here to learn, and that's what we're going to do is learn. So everything has meaning. As much as it may not seem like it, it all has meaning. Believe me. We all want an easier experience when it comes to college, right? That's the whole point. And by creating a calendar and creating a routine and staying organized and removing distractions and being able to find out, hey, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, is going to make you the most productive and the least distracted you've ever been, let alone the most accomplished high school student, or excuse me, college student. You can get done, get your credit hours in, and get your assignments graded and in good shape, and you can move on to sophomore year, junior year, senior year, and then graduate and go back if you have to, whatever the case is. Go out and do your own thing. And then you're done with college. It's easy. It seems really easy. It is hard. It is challenging. You know, putting all this schedule stuff together and sticking to it is very difficult. Believe me, I've flaked on my schedule many times, but the more you stay focused on your schedule and the more you stay focused on getting rid of everything else and just focusing on, hey, I need to get this assignment done tonight. It is due. It is worth 100% of my grade. If I don't get this done, I will fail this class. Right? It can stress you out. It can be like, man, I just want to sit here and play video games and not even think about school. Screw school. I don't need it. Psh, I'll fail this class. I'll just come back and do it again. That's not a good view. You want to accomplish it. The faster you get it done, the faster you can go away. No, that's not a good view either. You want to get it done quickly and responsibly and effectively, while also making sure that it's done properly and meeting all the requirements. So you don't have to go back and do anything, and that you're going to get a good grade on it. That's what we all want. We all want to graduate with good grades, a high GPA, and good grades. That's what we want. And by lazing about or procrastinating or flaking on your schedule or sitting on your phone watching TikTok and Instagram or whatever the case is while you're doing your schoolwork, it's not going to help you. And believe me, I'm not just preaching to you upcoming freshmen out there. I do the same thing still. It's very challenging. It is very difficult, and it takes a lot of self-discipline. And that's a final point I want to make is that about changing your routine is that you may have to add in some people in your life that are going to be like, hey, get your schoolwork done. Hey, go do this. Hey, stop texting me. Go get your schoolwork done. It's not as important as the other things we talked about, but it definitely is important. You want to make sure that you got people in your life who can be like, hey, encouraging you, go do your schoolwork, go get good grades. It's really important. We talked about a lot of different things today, but to recap it all, we talked about like the best way to stay organized and on task is by creating an in-depth schedule. That's putting down your work schedule, writing down all the homework due dates, prioritizing different assignments, and labeling out what days you're going to work on each assignment if it requires you to work on one day. There are some assignments you can get done in one day or even in 5 minutes. Pretty simple. But some classes and some different assignments you're going to have to span out over a couple days, even a couple weeks, maybe even a month. It's a lot different than high school, guys. It's a lot different than high school. We talked about removing distractions, getting rid of your cell phone, your video games, your friends. Well, not getting rid of your friends, but telling them, hey, I have to get this homework assignment done right now. I have no time to hang out. I have to get this done. College is important, right? And everyone's got to respect that. If you're working hard, especially if you have a job and you're going to college, it makes life a lot harder because you're focusing on what your work schedule is, what you're doing at work, and also trying to fit in all your homework assignments. It can be really daunting, but I promise you, keeping that schedule and removing all those distractions is going to keep you focused and ready and keep you going. And the final thing we talked about was finding the perfect balance to be able to accomplish everything. Your groove, right? Like I said, for me personally, it's throwing on some music and just sitting here and grinding out what I have to do. Focusing on what needs to be done now, getting it done and over with, and I can go hang out with my buddies. I can go fishing. I can go sit here and play video games all night long if I wanted to, because I don't have anything else to worry about until that next day or that next time I have something on my schedule. It makes things a lot more manageable. It makes me feel much better about myself. It makes me feel like I'm getting all the things I need to get done in a reasonable amount of time. It's going to be hard. College is not easy. Anybody who tells you college is easy is lying. Straight to your face. For any freshman out there or even graduate, you can ask any college graduate or anybody who's currently in college. They're going to say college is not easy, especially your freshman year. It is such a change from high school. And anybody who says it's easy is lying. They are lying. Do not believe them. But the best way to conquer it is by focusing on your schoolwork, making a plan, making the time to do your schoolwork, and not flaking out. It is going to be difficult. It takes a lot of self-discipline, like I said earlier. But that's just something that each one of us is going to have to work on. And a lot of college people that are still in college right now, sophomores, juniors, and even seniors, are still learning that discipline. They still don't know. It takes a long time to learn this. And I'm still working on it myself. That's why I'm excited because I get to learn about this more with you guys just as much as you guys are learning from me. Well, I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today, gained some kind of knowledge. Like I said, definitely go out and try to make a schedule. That is the big one. Making a schedule is going to make your life a humongous difference. It's going to make it so much easier when it comes to plotting through different homework assignments and your work schedule. Get rid of those distractions and make sure you find your groove. Figure out what works for you. If you're good at doing assignments this certain way, then do them that way every single time. Repetition is practice. Practice makes perfect. We all know that. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next episode. Outlaw out.